All right. The reason we are 14 minutes late is there was a pizza.
There's always a pizza.
There's, yeah, and you don't say no to a pizza. Like, you
No.
just, yeah. If pizza gets presented to you, you're going to eat as much as you can.
What kind of asshole would say no to a pizza? That's
Yeah.
all I have to say.
You know what? The people I work with, they keep saying no to pizza, so I have to keep eating all of it, which
Right, I
is
mean,
fine,
because
I
you're the
guess.
good guy. You're the
Yeah.
Canadian of the group, so you have to do it.
I'm definitely the Canadian of the group. They definitely make sure I know that. More importantly, though, actually, it kind of relating to people I work with. I just got home from a party boat that my work threw
Okay,
together.
sure.
Um, this was pretty good. It was. Do you know what a catamaran is?
I do, in fact. Yeah.
All right. So for those who don't know, a catamaran, because I didn't know the name of this boat until I went on it, is a type of boat where it kind of looks like two big, long, big canoes, and they're kind of like attached with like a bridge section, and that's where the people hang out on. So it's kind of there's like an open middle area under the boat, and at the front of our catamaran were like nets, so you could like stand on the nets right above the water and stuff. It
Man,
was yeah,
sounds
it was
pretty good.
real. It was pretty good, and the boat took. It was like a 2 hour thing. Um, the boat took us out into the bay, San Francisco Bay, Bay Area, and we went right past Alcatraz. That was the closest I've ever been to Alcatraz. They went under the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, it was really cool. And they had
Nice.
just speakers on the deck, so they were just like blasting music the whole time.
Listen to Let It Go over and
We
over.
we weren't listening to Let It Go. They had just
Oh,
like Pandora on, so it was just random music. However, Get Lucky did come on, which was pretty good, and
of course they did.
someone also threw their iPhone on to make sure that I'm on a boat was played at one point.
Sure. Yeah,
So
of course.
that was definitely pretty good because you weren't expecting it, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, oh shit! And you're just like, okay, this is pretty
And how
good.
often do people get to listen to it on a boat?
Exactly, and
Sure.
you're with like higher up people from your company, and it was just like, this is great, this is awesome. So it was definitely a fun time. Party boat. I was able to take some cool pictures of the bridge from angles I hadn't been to it before. It was a little bit chilly. We were out on the water and it was windy, so I was glad I had a sweater. One guy lost his hat, and then when that happened, everyone cheered because we're jerks, I guess. But
Sure. I mean, other
anyway,
people's misery is our business as human
right.
beings.
And speaking of the business in misery, this is the top down perspective.
Right. Video games are miserable.
Yeah, and
So,
we deliver all that to
yeah.
you guys. It's July 17th. Yep, that's what my computer says. I'm
hmm
Sean Booker, and I'm joined by Paul Fleck.
Hello.
And we tried to get John for this week, but he was in town all of like a day and a half or something.
Of which I think he took a full day to just, like, relax.
Probably,
Like,
he probably
like I'm
needed
not
it.
doing anything. It's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
dude, he's a traveling man.
He
So
is.
yeah. Okay, so where is John this week? Let's try and figure it out. It's
He is
Hamilton,
at the
Ontario.
Hamilton, Ontario con.
What is the? Do you know what its name is? Because it's not Hamilton, Ontario Con.
No. HamCon?
No,
No.
I think it actually has a name. It's not like location based.
Isn't it like CanCon or it's something weird, isn't it?
I have
I don't know.
no idea. I have no idea. If anyone in the chat has been following John
I
better
feel
than
like
we
I should
have,
feel bad, but it's Hamilton, Ontario, so whatever.
fun
Kind of.
fact: a huge chunk of my family is actually in Hamilton, Ontario.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. It's just
No, I mean I'm sorry for
whenever.
your family,
Oh,
not for me. What I said.
oh, okay. Um, I'm just happy it's not a small town. So whenever I visited them, there's stuff to do.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
but like yeah, it's always weird because people are always like, yeah, Hamilton, whatever, because nothing ever happens in Hamilton, and I'm always like, actually, I have connections to Hamilton, so. And it's like what, like an hour or two from Toronto, and that place is cool. So it's a little cool by proxy, I guess. Anyway,
Con Bravo is
yes,
what it's
people are
called.
saying Con Bravo or Bravo.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Okay, there we go.
I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Even when he told me a couple weeks back, I had never heard of that. So
No, but
um,
I mean, good for him getting out there.
Conventions. Someone just mentioned DashCon, and I'm really happy they did because I was about to bring this up. Have you heard of
Okay, so
DashCon?
I actually talked about this with Nathan last night, and
Oh,
how
sorry.
no,
Sorry.
like how big of a ridiculous thing that is. Like, yo,
Oh,
you use
okay.
Tumblr? Let's do a convention. It's like,
Yeah,
why?
so for those who don't know, a bunch of people on Tumblr were like, hey, Reddit meetups are cool. Let's do our own, but make a convention about it.
Sure, yeah.
And then I guess, like, the pictures of, like, all I can think of is the ball pit.
Yeah, it's just like a school gymnasium or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
It's
they
really
rented
weird.
this like shitty looking blow up ball pit, like a really small one. For it's like, hey, people can play in it. And then
Hmm.
apparently, so the big thing I was reading is they had like panels lined up, and then they
Hmm.
canceled the panels. So like, hey, to make up for you guys, because apparently to go to panels you have to pay like extra. You have to get like a super ticket or
It
something.
was for the Night Vale stuff, right?
I have no idea. You tell me.
Okay, I think that was like the big draw, like the only draw,
What
maybe.
is Nightvale?
It's a podcast that's basically like news broadcast or like a story that's happening from like a fake, scary, spooky town.
Okay.
Almost
So
think if like
regardless,
Silent Hill had a podcast.
they had some kind of draw that you had to pay extra for, and then
Hmm.
that didn't happen. So people were like, "Well, what are you gonna give us in exchange for us having already paid extra?"
Hmm.
And they're like, "Well, you can have an extra hour in the ball pit."
Great. So dumb.
And then, oh, I retweeted this tweet I saw. Okay, so this was the actual Denny's Twitter account, like verified. This is Denny's, okay? And they said something like, "Hey, it's always happy hour at Denny's, and you can always get an extra hour in the ball pit." And they had a picture of a ball pit in one of their
Great.
diners, and I was
Great.
like, "This is great. Like, why is Denny's poking fun at this thing?" But
Like
this
Denny's,
is,
you have no right to poke
well,
fun at
it's
these.
just funny seeing any kind of like a corporate company like just
Sure.
being mean to people.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, "This is great. This is so good."
What Nathan and I were talking about is like this idea that there's a convention where you could argue you will have like the Tumblr feminist Nazi army and the men's rights activist army just both in the same room, and it would just be like the most annoying conversation ever.
That sounds like a panel that someone would set up.
It does. Like, oh my God. I don't know. That would just be like, I don't know how much you've browsed Tumblr, but anything to deal with either the feminist cause or men's rights cause are completely just retarded. They're so bad. So,
I
oh.
wouldn't say like feminism's bad. Like, what are you
No,
saying?
no, the Tumblr feminists.
Okay. Well, Tumblr's just a kind of a weird place.
It's, yeah, there's a lot of porno on Tumblr. That's all I
Well,
have to say.
that's basically Tumblr, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyways, Tumblr is not a video game.
It's not a video game, but let's jump into it. Why don't you tell me what you've been playing this last week?
All right, I finished Shovel Knight.
Cool. I finished Shovel Knight.
Okay, so I was on the like last tower part, like the last, I guess you
So,
would call it 2 levels, and I finally wrapped those up today, actually.
okay, okay.
So,
So I'm just trying to break it. So, okay, so there's airship, and then there's 3 levels after that.
right, I had finished the airship, and then I stopped playing for a bit, and then today I just finished off the tower part or whatever.
Okay. That
Yeah,
airship is so hard.
that airship is really annoying.
But
Just
the
because you,
music is so good. Oh,
yeah, it is one of the better songs in that whole game, which is that whole soundtrack is phenomenal.
yeah, no, it's great. But I just, yeah, like that airship has like twice as many checkpoints, so it's extra long, and it's I could not believe, and even
Mhm.
at the end, it gives you like a stats of like how many times you died on each stage. That one was easily the highest for me.
For me, it was the like underground caves, and I don't know why,
Oh
because
wow.
it wasn't that hard. I just died
I
more
actually
there.
played through that one twice and even got the beat it without dying achievement from that one.
Nice,
Yeah.
good, cool.
And then I was gonna say, so the level following the airship, like the first tower one or whatever, also has really good music and is really hard.
Yeah. So I found out I was playing that game wrong
Okay.
because when that game starts and like you go to the first village, you kind of go through some stuff and blah blah blah. You can look around. I didn't look around. I was kind of anxious to just keep on going. So I had a meal ticket and I hadn't bought any meal tickets. I basically did 95% of that whole game on the 4 health or whatever you start with.
Oh wow, you are such a man. Holy
It
shit.
sucked. I was like, that's why I was talking to John. I think it was after the TDP. He was still here. I'm like, yeah, that game's hard. He's like, no, it's not. It's like, that game's so hard. What are you talking about? I found out why, because he probably had like 10 hearts or whatever, and I had like 4.
No, like when I talked last week about how like it's like super clicking for me because I'm getting so powerful and stuff, and I'm feeling good. It was because I was getting all these meal tickets.
I wasn't buying any meal tickets or the upgrades for your magic.
Wow.
I just basically kept getting armor. So, like, changing out my
different armor. Like, just different armors? Because I basically found one armor and stuck with it.
Yeah, no, I have 3 or 4 of the armors and, like, all of the attacks, obviously, because why wouldn't you get all of those?
I actually just bought one. I didn't care about the others for the most part.
They're pretty good. But, like,
I did take your advice, though, of getting that one the gray armor where 2 bounces gets you a charged attack.
That's nice.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. It's
game-changing.
Yeah, it really helps.
Yeah. So, I expert mode played most of that game and then realized I was a complete moron and made it way harder for myself. Got a bunch of meal tickets, and the end was easy after that. So
I was actually surprised. Like, hey, I don't want to try and spoil too much stuff, but in the second last stage, you have to do a bunch of fighting like in a row.
Oh, it's so good.
And like I was surprised I did it on my first try. No, I did think I did it on like my second try.
Yeah, because the game taught you what the guys do.
Yeah. And I was just surprised because I had struggled kind of on a lot of the harder stages. Like I don't think there was any boss that I didn't die on. So I was struggling a bit through the game.
Except for the first one, obviously. Like King Knight was really easy.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you definitely get better. That game makes you a better player by the end of it, for sure. So, really well designed. It's a great game. Such a good game.
So good. And buy those meal tickets if you're playing that game, because don't be an idiot. I was actually getting really frustrated. I was like, how is this easy? Like, am I not seeing how I could do this or something? It's like, yeah, you have half the health you should have, you retard.
Right,
so, yeah.
For sure. The magic, you just keep going invincible, so, yeah.
Yeah. I started, when I upgraded the magic, too, like, that game changed when I could do that more than 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying, because I would go invincible, I would charge up an attack. Yeah, no, it's good. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
I jumped back into World of Warcraft mainly because after all the talk about the Naxx expansion for Hearthstone, I wanted to play the original Naxx raid, so I went in and I've been soloing that just for the hell of it.
Okay, you just getting yourself caught up on the lore?
No, just for fun. Just because I wanted to see it again, so I've been jumping in and doing that. Other than that, I've been doing some Payday stuff, again, just random stuff. The other thing that is kind of new is a game came out called Unturned.
Okay.
And it is, okay, do you like DayZ?
I actually haven't played it. I haven't played any of those style of games.
Okay. What if I told you a DayZ and Minecraft with the crappiest parts of both put into one video game without the upside of either? Sounds fun, right?
No.
Right, okay. So Unturned is an early access free-to-play thing, and it's basically Minecraft-ish graphics with the, like, survival... Like, you have to survive in a zombie apocalypse sort of thing, scrounge for food, and make sure you're fed, and, like, find ammo and guns to protect yourself and all that sort of stuff. But it's not good at all. And even when that type of game is done well, like maybe a DayZ, if that ever finishes their alpha stage or whatever they call it, it's still not intriguing at all because it's all just a running simulator. So, like in Minecraft, even though you would traverse the world a lot or whatever, you could still dig, you could build stuff, you could craft stuff, and that's all fun.
Sure.
But what if, like, in Minecraft you couldn't dig into the earth, or, like, if you needed an axe, you couldn't just, like, punch a tree until stuff broke out or whatever? It's very accessible, whereas this is very much, no, this is a survival thing. Like, you can craft stuff, but you have to find the components of it. If you just punch a tree, nothing will happen.
Is
So
so is there like some kind of are they telling you what the arc of their development is? Like, do you know what they're gonna add or anything? That sounds good.
I'm not sure. I haven't read that far into it. It's just kind of, I s this kind of blew up on Twitch when it came out, as things tend to do, because everybody's trying to get like the ground floor on, well, I could be the only person streaming this right now,
Sure.
get all the views. And it looked boring when I saw a few other people play it, and it's actually even more boring than I expected playing it.
Okay.
So even a
Any
free-to-play thing, I don't know, it's really bad.
any interest in like watching it develop or anything? Like it's early access, so it could be rough.
Oh, it's definitely rough. But like in terms of rough, I was playing the DayZ standalone when they first kind of got it out there and have been developing it. I would be more inclined to go back and try that than this ever again if I wanted this type of game, which I don't.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, so I guess it's just not for me. But if you like bad stuff, this might be up your alley.
Put that on the box.
Endorsed heavily by
Yeah.
me. There
Yeah.
you go.
And that was it for your week?
That's it. What have you been playing,
What have I
Sean?
been playing? So I mentioned I finished Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
I talked about Monument Valley last week. I finished that.
hmm
That game is cool.
hmm
I don't think it's on sale anymore, but it's worth looking at. If you want to see the art style. That game's pretty cool.
Cool.
Played a game called Wordament Snap Attack. Do you know what Wordament is?
I don't know.
Wordament is basically Boggle that came out
Okay.
for Windows 8. This would have been like at least half a year ago, if not further back.
Okay.
And then it came out for like 360 and iPhone and like everything, and it had achievements, so you could get achievements on your iPhone. And because it was out on like 3 platforms, I have Wordament achievements 3 times. So Wordament, or the Wordament people, came out with a second game called Wordament Snap Attack. Once again, it's on Windows 8 and on iPhone, iOS, so I can get my achievements on iOS again. And unlike it being Boggle, this game is, I guess it's closer to Scrabble. Basically what it'll do
Okay.
is you'll have your grid, and there will already be like 2 words built out in Scrabble tiles on it, and then you have a row of tiles, and you just need to build more words like on top of those words.
So do you have to like use your whole tile set, or do you continuously get tiles as you use letters?
You don't get any new tiles. It's just your timed. You have like 2 minutes, and it's just like, let's say on screen there's a word that says like apple, and then plum off the P or something, and then you have a bunch of letters, so you're just going to try and build. It's basically like if you were playing Scrabble with yourself, like if you took a number of turns over and over and over, kind of. And then so you can like place some tiles, then you can take them back and place different tiles, or you can place tiles and build off that, and it's just how many words can you make in the 2 minutes. And the thing with Wordament is it was online multiplayer 100%, so the games are timed, and everyone who's playing is playing that iteration of the board. And then when the game ends, it would show everyone who was playing, on the leaderboard. It would be like a 30-second timeout, and then they would load up another one, and everyone's playing again.
Cool.
And it's fine for the most part. Like, it's free, so it might be worth checking out if you like letter games. I like
I
Scrabble.
do actually. I love
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's on Android, but you could definitely check. Maybe even check out Wordament, though. I'm sure that's probably got to be on Android. And you can get Xbox achievements. So yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I found this was because I was looking up. I'm like, I wonder on Windows 8, like how many of those games, like free games, came out that gives me achievements. I ended up downloading 20 bullshit games.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm just gonna
Want to
quickly
go
look.
through them quickly?
I've only played Wordament. Actually, that's not true. I played Wordament Snap Attack, and I played Uno and Friends.
Is it
Which is
just Uno?
It's just Uno.
Okay, I'm in.
But I don't
Good.
think anyone's playing it.
Of
Because
course
I
not.
couldn't get into very many matches.
Hmm.
But yeah, what else did I download? I downloaded. Apparently, there's achievements in the Disney Infinity Toy Box for Windows 8.
Okay.
A game called Alpha Jacks, Hexic, FIFA 14,
Hexic is
And-
great, actually.
Endless Skater,
Okay.
Nectimals for Windows 8,
Wow. Okay.
Kingdoms and Lords, Microsoft Bingo, Microsoft Jigsaw, which I understand is just a jigsaw puzzle game, Samurai vs. Zombies Defense, Shuffle Party, Microsoft Sudoku,
Okay. Sure. I like
Microsoft
Sudoku.
Treasure Hunt,
Hmm.
Six Guns, Enter the Mind, The Lost Cities, WSOP, what is that? Something poker, and Thrown Together. Thrown spelled THRONE. So I don't know what any of these are for the most part. Like I can guess a few of them, obviously, but
I love the Microsoft Jigsaw. It's like a puzzle. Okay. Whatever.
From the screenshots, it's just here's a digital puzzle.
Microsoft Free Cell, Microsoft Hearts, Microsoft Solitaire.
Actually, from before, you can download Microsoft Solitaire, Microsoft
Yeah.
Minesweeper, and they do have achievements.
Yeah, sure.
So you get a few achievements for that, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, other games I was actually playing worth talking about. I finished Murdered Soul Suspect.
Okay, we will talk in depth about this apparently, though.
Yeah, if people would like us to do a spoiler cast, they should speak up to know if we should waste our time with it or not.
Actually, yeah, they should show support because I am a I'm a busy man and I can't really just spend time for the plebeians, who don't really want something.
I will just say though, so you don't like the ending at all.
No, I really don't.
I actually was like okay with parts of it.
Okay, we're okay with parts of it is probably the best you could ask for still. So that we'll say that you liked it.
I feel like that's kind of my feelings for the entire game. Is I'm okay with parts of it, but
I could, you know what? I can see it. It just struck me really poorly. Just like
mainly
no.
the ending, there were twists I did not see coming.
I agree with you, but there's a reason why I didn't see it coming because it's ridiculous. But in the world they set, it's kind of okay. I don't know. I just wasn't okay with it.
I will just say though, I was so done with those stealth demon sections.
Right? I know.
Oh my gosh! Every time it happened, I was almost like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like,
Yeah.
The only reason they're in there, like they even put like a narrative reason at the end, which like, okay, at least they acknowledged like why is this happening so many times. But just like one thing I hated is when you finish an investigation, it's like, okay, now I need to get to this part of the town, and then they make you like walk out of the building you're in. And you're usually like a few floors up or something. It's like, why don't you just like teleport me out of the building? Like I clearly have nothing left to do in this building.
Sure.
Just give me the option of just exiting it, and as opposed to having to walk through it. And then sometimes the really bad ones are when you're on your way out. Oh, now there's demons you gotta face, and it's like, oh man, it's like rubbing salt in the wound.
Yep.
Oh, and then
fuck yeah.
And they keep having more and more as you get closer to the end.
Yeah.
Until you have to face 4 at one time. Oh, I almost threw my controller against the wall when I saw there was 4. I was so angry.
I think you know what the biggest problem with that too is that when you get into a new area and there's like 3 or 4, like you're saying, you don't know this area yet, so you don't know which walls you can safely go through to kind of avoid them. So it's a matter of trial and error, not strategic planning, because you don't know that this is not actually like this wall goes into a hallway that all of them can see you at one time, sort of thing. Like,
right, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if they did something where it's like they give you a map to show you just like the area or something, so you could see this wall goes into a room, this one goes into an open area or something. You could strategically plan where you're going to move, but as it is, it's just trial and error, which is gross.
And those hiding places, they're all over the place, even if there's no demons anywhere.
So you're scared all the time.
Exactly. I'm constantly thinking like, oh, please don't let there be demons, please. And the biggest reason I hate the demons is just that they scream all the time, and it's just I don't want to listen to them scream. I hate it. It just freaks me out. It's just an uncomfortable noise, and I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do. But it's just like, oh, stop yelling at me! Like, oh, it's just.
For me, it's the unnatural head and body movement that they do. like House on Haunted Hill, back when they remade that in 1999, the reason why I actually found that scary while everyone else laughed at it was because there's a few parts where like they shake really fast and stuff. That always has bothered me. I don't know
Okay.
why. That's a trigger for me. And that game does that with those demons, and it actually freaks me out legitimately to the point where I don't want to play if there's demons around at all.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
if they see me and come up to me, I just like throw the controller down.
Did you see Edge of Tomorrow?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, that just came out a few like last month or whatever. The aliens in that do a similar kind of movement thing where they're
God
just like
damn it.
they're like jerky and like it looks like a weird issue with the video or something. It looks cool, but um, someone's asking Sean, what would you rate Murdered Soul Suspect out of 10? I would probably give it like
It's a solid 5 or 6 for me.
I was thinking like just in the middle, like a 4 or something. Like there's a few components that are just like kind of interesting, but there's just so much that just was bugging me. Maybe like a 6, 4 or
6 is
6.
the very top end, though. Like,
Yeah,
you got me on like a day where I woke up, the sun was shining, and birds were singing. I had my morning coffee, had some free pizza laying around or something. Like maybe that's a 6. On any other day, it's probably a 4 or 5. You're right.
and like. And you have to be wanting like I want a story game. I want to know what the story is going on. And this story is not great by any stretch, but
No.
like it's okay, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
hmm
We're seeing a few people saying, "Yeah, the spoiler cast." So yeah, maybe we'll do a spoiler cast in the coming weeks.
I'm just gonna give a brief reason why I don't like a lot of the writing in that game is, without giving anything away, I don't like it when the writing can be all summed up with it's supernatural, so it works, sort of thing, where like they tie up a lot of questions you would have about like why are there demons, like you were saying, or like why is this happening? Why did that happen to that person? Why can't I go through some walls and through others? And the answer for every question is because supernatural. So
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
it's kind of a bullshit way to tie ends, and the ending of that game leans very, very heavy into some bullshit reasoning, but it still works in some weird way. So I just wasn't having it at the time. I was really pissed off.
Like my biggest issue is I just don't think that game was designed like enough. Like they like
No.
it again. I've said it before. It feels like it was kind of rushed or something because it just there's a lot of things in there that just don't feel like this. Just kind of feels weird. Like it feels kind of like they needed to like shave down some of the rough edges because it seems like there's a lot. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And now you
But
guys are out of jobs. Good job, guys.
yeah, sorry to hear that, obviously, but so then I moved on to a different game, which was a really nice contrast to Murdered, where I was slow moving, just listening to story, kind of scared someone's gonna scream at me if I walk into this room. And I went on and played the new Strider, which
Yeah.
has no story, and all you do is run around slashing robots.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
I hear it's great.
it's pretty fun. It's like my current podcasting game because there is no story whatsoever.
Okay, cool. I've been looking for a podcasting game for a while now.
This one's
So
good. Do you have a PS4?
I don't have a PS4 or an Xbone.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say it's on PlayStation Plus, which is how I got it.
Oh,
Um,
okay, cool.
but yeah, no, it just starts off with you doing like skydiving onto the battlefield, and then you're just so it's two-dimensional. It's kind of Metroidvania-esque, although it doesn't seem like you're backtracking a lot. But there's definitely an element of you can only go this one direction, even though it looks like there's other ones, but we're gated based on the abilities you have. And you're just kind of running, and you can just hit the slash button all the time, and it doesn't slow you down, and you just rip through people. Like everyone's a robot, so you're just slashing them in half. You have like slide attacks. You have like ground slam. I just got this like laser eagle thing where I can call in this laser eagle or something. I'm not 100% sure what it is, because the game is just fast paced. It is just like, hey, you should just run and slash a sword. Just go faster. Do jumps. Every time you do a jump, he does like a triple backflip in the air. Like that guy can climb on walls and ceilings. He's a super ninja, and it is just like, yeah, like I said, murdered soul suspect. You know, I'm walking around slowly. I'm analyzing bullshit. I'm reading text, and this one I have turned my mind off, and I'm hitting square nonstop.
Perfect.
I'm never not hitting square. So
perfect.
I'm having fun with it. It's definitely like, you know, I wouldn't like it's pretty easy for the most part. There's so many like health pickups. There's a cool what should I say, boss on the first level. It's like a armor-plated missile dragon serpent thing that you're riding on the back of, which is cool. So yeah, I've only played about maybe 2 hours or so of it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping it kind of just opens up more, and I'm looking forward to more of the abilities I unlock for sure. But yeah, so I would recommend Strider for the most part, especially if you have PlayStation Plus. It's a free game. So
yeah, cool.
And then apart from that, that was all I played. So let's move on to the news.
We got a few things here, it looks like.
Yeah.
So
first thing though, Evo was this last weekend.
It was.
I know we said we weren't going to watch it. I ended up actually watching like a fair significant portion compared to what I was expecting to watch.
Okay.
I only watched the finals day because it was like 3 days long or something, I thought. Yeah, I just watched it on Sunday. I just woke up on Sunday, and what was I doing? What was I doing on Sunday? Editing the podcast, maybe? Yeah. I know for a lot of that I was playing Murdered Soul Suspect with that just kind of on.
Okay.
And so I watched, what was the games again? And I said this on Twitter, is I cannot differentiate anime fighting games at all.
Sure.
It is not an issue on them. It is a complete issue with like my ignorance of just not looking into it. I cannot differentiate them. So the first game was BlazBlue, I believe.
Okay, sure.
I think I originally called it Guilty Gear. And you know, I just can't follow fighting games at that level. Like,
yeah, me neither.
People are flipping out. To me, it's like, that looks like a good match. Yep. Which I'm sure if I knew anything, it'd be like, that was incredible. Did you just see what he did? What he just pulled off was insane. Whereas I have no idea, so I'm just like, this looks like a fighting game. Cool. Look, they're punching each other.
I like fighting games. That guy won.
Yeah, you guys winner. Although with BlazBlue, from what I could tell from like the announcers, just losing their minds. It was something like, and I don't even quite understand the rules of the tournament style, but it was something like this guy needed to win, and they were like best 2 out of 3 matches, because that's how the fighting thing's set up. So best 2 out of 3 rounds, and if this guy won, he wins the tournament. But if player 2 wins, he like resets something.
Okay.
So I wasn't 100%. It was like it stops the dude from winning. So the guy who needed to win was up 2 wins. If he won one more game, he wins the tournament. And then the dude reset it, and people were like, holy shit. And then the dude who needed to win again won 2 of them. He needed to win 1 more. And the second dude came back and like reset it again. So I don't know. All I knew was the stakes were high, and I don't know fighting games.
Cool. Okay.
And
sounds fun.
It was okay. I watched a bit of Smash Bros, which that I can follow better because I know how that game works. I was kind of eating a lot during that, so I didn't watch too much Smash Bros. To be honest.
Yeah.
Did I watch the finals? No, I think it was kind of a thing where I had it on in the background a lot. So anyway, Evo happened. I watched a lot more than I expected, and BlazBlue looks bananas. That's kind of what I took from that. People were crying when they won stuff, and I saw a GIF of a dude rolling on the floor. So that was Evo.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyways, news stories. So Destiny pre-order, the beta started today. For people who are already probably playing that, they announced this was earlier last week, so it's old news now. But they announced that if you did pre-order it, you get 3 beta keys to give to your friends, so you can have a full team to fight with, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea for sure.
That's definitely a great idea, and it gets more people like, wow, I should probably get this beta.
Exactly. So it's essentially like advertise this game to 3 friends for free.
Exactly. So if you pre-ordered it, or if you're playing the beta now, maybe look into it a bit more because you should probably get more beta keys for free. So, next bit of news. So we're both Giant Bomb fans, so we know of John Drake, who was the PR manager at Harmonix.
Right, like a total nobody to anybody who doesn't care about Giant Bomb, but sure.
Exactly, but as Giant Bomb fans that we are, I wanted to bring it up. John Drake works at Sony now. I don't know what he does at Sony or what his
Probably
role is.
PR or something.
I'd assume it's PR since he's a PR guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it does mean that he now lives in California, so I might run into him more easily, I guess.
Just be like, hey, and then keep walking. Yeah.
Funzar. Anyway, so yeah,
Drake.
John Drake. That guy's cool, and also, anyways, so they announced The Wolf Among Us is coming to retail, which I think everyone could see that coming.
Sure, because they did that with Walking Dead, so why wouldn't they do it with the other ones?
Exactly. So yeah, they announced that it's coming to all 4 home consoles.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Look for that, I guess. Here's the real news. Get your caps on.
It's on right here.
Fruit Ninja 2 is coming to Xbox One.
Oh!
Yes! Yes! Oh, it's so good. I love Fruit Ninja. I loved Fruit Ninja on the Xbox 360. Probably one of my favorite Kinect games.
Do you remember when they tried to do real-life Fruit Ninja for a Super Live show or whatever? The Tested Guys?
Tested Guys. I do remember, yes.
And they just threw fruit at Norm while he had a sword.
Yeah, no, I do remember that, and that was great.
Yeah.
Those guys are great.
I miss the days of Whiskey Media where were all in the same weird office.
I loved that. It felt like a clubhouse.
It was so good.
To just hang out. But speaking of which, Whiskey Shirt, what's up?
Nice. Nice. I actually put that in the wash, I think. It's really
okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've announced. Actually, they didn't announce it. It was a leak. I believe it was an Australian. It was either a ratings board. It says Fruit Ninja Connect 2. It's rated G for general, so I guess not much blood.
Okay.
But duh. Anyways, I'm just excited. More Fruit Ninja is great.
Okay.
In the words of Norman Chan, I like fruit and I like being a ninja, so this game's for me because it's called Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, I mean that should be on the box.
Yeah, that should be on the box. We talked about Cliffy B last week. A small little thing popped up. So you know Super Hot?
Right, sorry, audio. Yep.
Right, sorry, this is a podcast.
Yes, it is audio. There we go.
Super Hot, for those who don't know, is a game that is it still being kickstarted? I know there was a Kickstarter.
Probably.
I think it's still being kickstarted. Anyway, it was a game that you could play online. There was like 3 levels. Basically, when you moved, the world also moved. So very similar to that one level in Braid, but it involved a lot of like shooting enemies. But the bullets only moved if you moved, so you had to kind of dodge the other enemies and whatnot. There's apparently a tier that if you donate high enough, you can design a level. Cliffy B donated $2,000 for that game, so he's going to be designing a level. I just thought that was interesting.
They should have paid Cliffy B $2,000 to just design the level. Like, whatever.
That is someone that you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
But just, anyway, that's kind of cool because Super Hot looks like a cool game, and it's interesting that Cliffy B is excited enough for it that there will be a level designed by him on that.
That he paid to do work for it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so there you go.
He definitely believes in it. Okay, this is probably actually the actual big news for our fans. Super Smash Bros. At EVO, they announced 3 new characters, 3 more characters for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. They announced Robin, which is the main character from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Okay.
He can fight with a sword and magic. So there's that. You can play as he's the player character, so you can play as the boy or girl version of it. Captain Falcon's back, which there's no way he wouldn't be in that game.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Like that is not a reveal. That is like a duh.
Yeah.
Now
final, like about time.
Yeah. So like there will never be a day where Smash Bros doesn't have Captain Falcon in it. Because Smash Bros is basically Captain Falcon's game. It's no longer F-Zero. That's just how it goes now.
Sure.
And Lucina, who is, if you guys know Marth, it's Marth's daughter. So she fights with a sword. So it just kind of makes sense. But that means there's 4 Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros, which is great because I always love playing as the Fire Emblem characters. I guess just now that I think about it, they also announced Tekken 7 if people are into Tekken. That's the thing that was announced at EVO. I don't really care about Tekken.
Yeah, I haven't for a long time, so.
I like that they have weird characters. Like that bear. And the other bear. Like there's 2 bears.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yep.
Mokujin or whatever. The weird tree guy.
Oh yeah,
wood guy.
Yeah. There's some weird characters. I think there's a cactus. I don't know. John's the guy who should be. I'm talking about this. Anyway, last little bit of news stories that I found that I thought this was interesting is GameStop is going to be selling digital codes or downloads for Destiny, which I think this is the first game that we are seeing a retail store selling the digital version of it.
Like an actual game, not just like cards for like $20 on something.
Right, yeah. They are selling the actual, and I just, maybe I'm mistaken, but this is the first time I saw it. So I think this is the first game in which we were seeing a retail store being like, we have to get in with the digital. So, unfortunately, it looks like GameStop is going to continue to be around. There you go. I don't know if EB Games is doing this as well, so I don't know if it's a Canada thing. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Because why not?
What?
Because why would we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you put a news story here.
I did. So the International 4 Dota 2 Championships will be on ESPN networks, on ESPN 3 specifically.
Oh, wow.
So
what is ESPN 3 usually reserved for?
Just like random shit. But like, esports are becoming a thing. They are
like it'll be on TV.
They're becoming legitimately a thing, like a sport. So that's weird to me.
Like, to be fair, it is literally a third-tier TV station.
Sure.
But hey,
it's basically like the Ocho.
I'm not sure if you know this, but the S in ESPN stands for sports.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're totally right.
And the E in ESPN stands for esports. There you go.
Yeah, it's esports sports. Pwn. That's what it stands for.
Yeah, esports sports Pwn network. What? It's so dumb.
That's yeah. No, and the 3 actually, it's also part of the acronym. It stands for 3D.
Sure. Yeah.
Esports Sports Pwn Network 3D. So there you go. Wasn't there an ESPN 3D like for reals?
There might have been. I don't know.
See, well, 3D is kind of done. So, but yeah. Anyway, no, I think that is a major step. Esports are on the TV.
It's huge.
For whoever's, some football fan who has all the ESPN he can get is going to stumble across this and be like, "Whoa, this is not my favorite sport."
Yeah, Dendy, woo!
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be like. He's going to be like chugging a beer, and then he's going to like crush the can with his head, and he's going to be like, "Yeah, Dendy."
I want to live to see that day.
Eventually, that's how you know if it's an actual sport, is if you have fans like that. So
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Is there tailgate parties at the International 4? That's what I'm curious about.
Probably not, because Dota players. There might be some people that just get really drunk outside of like the Staples Center or something. But
yeah, who knows? I did see pictures that they are setting up for the final big stage. So I don't know. I'm excited. Okay, I'm glad you're excited.
I am very excited. They went pretty big last year, and that was like nothing compared to what the prize is this year. Over $10 million to the winner.
Right, that's crazy.
That's gross. That's so much money.
That's a lot of money. So
yeah. So
anyway.
Oh, there's also a little breaking news that happened today.
Whoa.
QuakeCon, they announced Doom 4. So if you like Doom games.
Didn't they announce Doom at E3?
Well, not announced, sorry. They actually showed footage.
Okay, that's
trailer
different.
and stuff.
All right. Did you
So
watch the footage?
Doom is coming out, guys.
Did you watch any of the footage? Are you excited?
They only have a teaser trailer up on IGN right now. The footage they showed apparently was only for QuakeCon people. They're not putting anything out on that video out on anything yet.
Okay,
So,
well that's weird, but all right.
It sounds like they're actually going back to how Doom used to play, like the more fast-paced, just like gun-toting crazy bullshit with guys everywhere. Not this like Doom 3 methodical, take your flashlight out, look through like a corridor, and then shoot something with a pistol and keep moving.
A couple things I just want to pull from the chat here. Hank Shilly, hopefully I botched that correctly. Says, well, Captain Falcon, this going back to the Smash Bros. Thing.
Okay.
Well, Captain Falcon didn't get too much fanfare in the video. That's to be fair, yeah, he was actually getting beat up kind of. So, there you go.
Okay.
And then funny, I find this part pretty funny. Comet Strider X says, I'd almost bet the Captain Falcon was only revealed because Robin's name is also a bird.
Okay. That you know what, Nintendo has had some like weird PR moves in the past. They might have thought that up. So sure.
No,
You can't just have one bird.
In the meeting, they're like, "Oh no, wait, we could totally announce the other guy, and they're both bird names." And then everyone just being like, standing ovation. All right, I think that's it for news, eh?
Yes, that is
it for news. Let's go on to the questions. I didn't even really look at these. There was some I was going to look at.
There's so many of them in here.
There's a lot. All right. I'm just, I'll get rid of that one. Okay. First one's from Junkie GS. He writes, thoughts on Yogg's Discovery drama? What is this?
So Yogg's Discovery is a thing they're putting. You know the Yogscast, right? Like,
No.
There's like 20 people or something. They're a group of YouTube personalities and blah blah blah. Got big with Minecraft. Have a couple million people watching them at any time. That sort of thing. They are doing this thing where they're basically saying, we will promote your game if you give us some of your revenue from the game when the sales go up. So it's basically selling a place on their YouTube channel for your content, which is kind of gross.
Okay, so is that the drama?
Yeah, like it's just kind of a gross practice sort of thing. They're basically saying nobody cares about your indie game, so we will give it coverage and you can pay us for that privilege sort of thing. I can't remember how they worded it. They basically worded it kind of like that too, where it's like, this way we get paid even though not a lot of people might look at this video, and you... Like, the reason they're doing it is because they don't want to take the risk, apparently, to play a video game on their YouTube channel and only have half the people look at it and then get paid for half the ad revenue for that video when they could put up a Minecraft thing that'll get, like, the full 1 million people or whatever. So they're saying, your game isn't good enough that we can play it, like, and get views, so you have to pay us to make sure we can still have views, basically.
Right. Yeah. No, this is definitely a weird line, because, like, at what point is this too close to, like, a developer paying a journalist to talk about their game?
It's exactly that. It is that.
Well, I don't know if it's exactly that, because we get stuff like, reviewers specifically being paid to check out the game. Like, I know John has had games sent to him, and they're like, hey, if you do a video on it, and John has gotten paid for that.
Sure, but that's still like almost an advertising thing. This is literally like, say you and I made a game, right? And it's selling maybe 100 units. We do this thing, and it goes up to 10,000. We have to pay them a portion of our revenue we just got from that boost.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's gross, and I think it's kind of going into this weird territory of they're getting too far over their heads with this advertising bullshit when they should just leave that to the corporate overlords like Google that have partners and like lawyers and do this sort of shit. But most importantly, I don't think you should have to pay money for someone to play your game on a channel on YouTube, sort of thing. Like, if your game's good enough, it will get traction the way it is usually if you go through the normal avenues. And even if not, like, whatever. I just still think it's disgusting, but that's just me, I guess.
It's definitely a weird line with all the coverage stuff going on, that's for sure. I didn't know about this, though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
He also writes a second question saying, thoughts on the Club Nintendo rewards all being digital games? Did you know about this? I actually did look this up.
No, I don't follow the Club Nintendo stuff, even though I am a member, so...
Right.
What were
we had more news. We're going to go back to news in a bit. The rewards, they were all... So, on Club Nintendo, normally, when you get, like, gold or platinum status, you can get... some kind of item, like an actual like figurine or whatever, mailed to you, just for having registered that many games.
Sure, there was like posters and stuff too. Whatever.
For sure. Yeah. Yep. And recently, or not recently, about the last year or so, you can start spending those coins on download codes for some of their games. This year's like platinum and gold reward was a selection of download games, so you get to pick a download game you want. I've been hearing some people say this kind of sucks. I actually think it's awesome. I would much rather always get a game than like a figurine. I just kind of don't ever really care about the figurines.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't care about Wii remote holders or extra styluses or Mario trading cards or like like a 52 card deck Mario themed or whatever. That's just me. I know some people are obviously definitely into that, but I only spend my Club Nintendo coins on games now because I can and I always want to. So I'm actually bummed out that I was lazy and didn't register my games because I easily would have made it. Because like Earthbound is on there. I could have gotten Earthbound. I would have loved to have gotten that. So
was it really?
Earthbound was one of the rewards you could have picked from. There was a number of them. I think I'm just gonna quickly look it up. Well, load faster. Okay, so your choices are Game & Wario, my favorite Wii U game, NES Remix 1, Earthbound, Dr. Luigi, Donkey Kong Country Returns for the 3DS, Fluidity Spin Cycle, Dylan's Rolling Western, Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move, the original Ice Climbers, original Kid Icarus, Super Mario Bros., Zelda 2, Donkey Kong 3, Wario Land 2, Metroid, or Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. So there's some actual like some serious games in there. Like
Super Nerd 137 is bringing up a good point. Like some people already have most of those, hence the platinum status. So they're kind of just like, I guess like I'll just take this second copy maybe of something.
True, that's definitely a good point. Keep in mind, but I had the same issue when I got Mario Kart, and they're like, hey, you get to pick one of these like 4 games. I own all 4 of those games. Yeah. So it's like,
well then you're screwed.
It's like, but keep in mind, these are free. So why are you complaining that much? Like, oh, how come you're not giving me better free stuff? It's like
It's because Nintendo fanboys are whiners.
It's just like, if you have all those games, that's great. You're playing the right games, it seems like.
Sure.
I'm sorry you didn't get something cool this year. Maybe you'll get something cool next year. Maybe get this and give the code away to a friend. That's all I can really say.
Maybe get NES Remix 1 because it's not the good one, and then buy 2 so this way you will have both.
Me personally, I would highly recommend Game & Wario if you don't have that. That game is fantastic. I would have gotten Earthbound just because I've always wanted to grab that, or maybe even Dr. Luigi just to check that out. Sure. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, that's a fantastic game for your 3DS. You could do that too. So
actually, like all of them were pretty good from the sounds of it.
A lot of these are definitely pretty good. I wouldn't, for the most part, I wouldn't recommend some of the older games because who doesn't have a copy of those on something by now?
Kid Icarus, really?
Yeah. So, original Super Mario Bros. Actually, that one's offensive. Get out of my face. I'm so tired of that game.
Yeah, like why is this? This should always be free. This shouldn't be an offer. You shouldn't even pay. Charge for this anymore.
Who doesn't have 8 copies of Super Mario Bros?
Right, I used to have that on my calculator back in high school.
right? Like you have 8 copies of Super Mario Bros. And they're sitting beside your 6 copies of Ocarina of Time. Like
Sure.
everyone has those games. Stop giving them away for free or making us buy them. But anyways,
Sure.
these are great prizes. I'm actually kicking myself for having been lazy.
Sure.
Actually, and okay, so I mentioned there was another news story. That was actually one of them I wanted to get to. The second one was that today Microsoft announced they are laying off 18,000 employees.
Okay.
The highest layoff in history, apparently.
They're not making the big bucks anymore? Like, what's going on with that?
Like, I'll put this article in here for you in case you want to check it out. The majority of the workers, 13,000 of them, are from Nokia when they bought Nokia.
Oh, okay.
But basically, there's a quote saying, the first step to building the right organization for our ambitions is to realign our workforce.
So basically, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
I guess it's just that is like there's an entire. I didn't read the entire letter that this. I'm trying to get the guy's name. Satya. Oh, what's his last name? Satya Nadella, who is the Microsoft CEO.
Oh, you mean Bill Gates?
No, it's not Bill Gates.
I think you mean Bill Gates.
Yeah, no. Microsoft picked up Nokia for $7.2 billion earlier this year, and the Nokia division will account for 12,500 of the planned layoffs. But that's
Damn.
Crazy. That's just.
It is.
Anyway, I think the big thing was when a friend of mine was saying, yes, this is apparently the largest layoff in history. 18,000 people. Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
No.
Yeah, I was part of that wave. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like I can't imagine it at all.
Anyway, back to questions. Back to the questions. I'm going to pull one of these email ones because I have a few of these.
Sure.
Maybe we talked about this. Did we talk about Mr. Peabody and Sherman last week?
We did.
Okay. So that one's... Why is this still starred then? Okay, here's one. Wesley writes, what's your favorite video game soundtrack? His personal favorites include Turok Dinosaur Hunter, Metroid Prime, and Super Mario Sunshine.
Wow. Those are some weird choices. Like, not weird in a bad way.
Yeah, no, not popular.
Those are not choices that would stick out in my head, but as I think about it, I really like the soundtrack to the Metroid games, like all of them, basically, too. So, Sunshine was great, too, actually.
I don't remember the soundtracks.
I don't remember Turok, but...
Favorite game soundtracks? Shatter is always up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever played that.
Yep. It's really good.
Risk of Rain.
Risk of Rain soundtrack's fantastic. It's really good.
So good. I'm just gonna look at my phone. It's basically whatever game soundtracks have made it onto my phone.
Yeah, I like basically everything Akira Yamaoka has done with Silent Hill series. I love his stuff. Resident Evil games, for the most part, like the first couple, I really like some tracks off of that. I love the music in Metal Gear, like the Metal Gear Solid games.
Bastion and Transistor.
Bastion and Transistor, not obviously, but yes, they're huge.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
So like Anna Managuchi, yeah.
Both DJ Hero game soundtracks are fantastic.
DJ Hero. Jake Kaufman stuff, Vert, for Shovel Knight, obviously. Really good. And also he did the stuff for Shantae, Risky's Revenge, or whatever.
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami soundtrack's really good. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many.
I'm gonna say what's that guy's name?
Sure, the Payday 2 soundtrack is really good.
Payday 2, yeah, I have that on my phone. It's really it's the Rez guy. What's his name? His band Genki Rockets.
Oh yeah.
What's that? Whoever the Rez guy name. I'm kicking myself for not knowing, but I do like Genki Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
So any one of his games, whether that's Rez or what was the Connect one?
I don't know.
What was that Connect game that he made? Oh, someone in the chat has to help me out here.
Oh, the Castlevania games have always had fantastic music. I love those.
Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Mass Effect games in general have
Yeah.
had really good music.
Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that one
Yeah.
is so good. You're right. There is way too many to
I even
name.
have some Professor Layton tracks on here. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Super Meat Boy soundtrack
Oh,
is
I do have Super Meat Boy. Yep, yep. Super
so
Mario
good.
Galaxy. What are we doing? How can I forget that? Oh, V. Yep, I got that one right.
Wait, V. You did. Okay,
I did,
you're
yeah. I counted afterwards.
okay.
Anything else? No, I think that's it for my thing.
Let's just stay with that. That's
That's a
so
lot. That's a
many.
lot. Yeah. Games have good music.
There is so much more out there too.
There we go. Cody helps me in. Incoming Pixels helps me. Child of Eden. Boom.
Yep.
There you go. I need to play that game again. Holy smokes. All right. That was an email question. Let's just finish up the emails.
Sure.
Cody writes in, Sean, you must be disappointed. You are no longer the only one without glasses.
Wait, what?
On the show, I was the only host without glasses. Because
Oh,
Nathan and John had glasses, and I always made sure they knew how inferior they were.
sure, because they don't have perfect 20/20 eyesight. Like we are going to lose in a couple more years.
No, I should be good. Actually, both my parents have glasses now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. But anyway, for the time being, we'll just have to make John feel bad.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I haven't even read this one yet. This one's from Hank. He writes,
Okay.
what's your favorite character creator system for a game? Either because it broke the game in dumb ways, or you thought it was well designed.
Saints Row, like for break the game in dumb ways, Saints Row, when you can put just like this ridiculous, like overweight, jiggly female body with a British accent, like male British accent, it's so good. Everything about that character
Pretty
creator
good.
is good.
I just love that one of the voices was just Nolan North. That was pretty funny.
Sure, wasn't there like a zombie one, like which is annoying as fuck, but
There's an
it was funny for a bit.
auto-tune one, isn't there?
Oh, there was a character that spoke in auto-tune for sure. I don't know if you could play it.
I think you could.
They're like probably.
Or at least they were planning it to happen. But yeah, there was a zombie voice, that's for sure. Character creators.
Like what the hell are they called now? The Elder Scrolls games have always had really good character creator stuff. Well, not always, but for the most part, like the latter games have.
Have you ever done any of the games where you can take a picture of your face to make a character?
Yes.
Those are always pretty dumb.
It never turns out properly, I feel. But
no, for sure.
yeah. Like anytime you can create a me by taking a picture and then there's just like the block head of your picture and he's just like writhing in pain until the me transforms, that's always kind of good. That's not a specific game though.
So Hank gives an example for his favorite. He says, mine is the one from the NBA Shootout games for the PlayStation, because it was super easy to break the game with it. When editing stats, you had points to spend, but one of the categories was overall. And if you filled that out and then took out points from each category individually, you would end up with more points than you started with, allowing for easy max stat characters. Also, if you made a character that was really short and really fat, for some reason, this would result in a character that was exceptionally fast. You could even dunk from behind the 3-point line, giving you 3 points, but not counting as a 3-point shot attempt. So when you saw your stats at the end of the game, the shooting percentages from 3 for that character, which was also expressed as a bar, would be off the screen and read out something like 350%.
Okay.
I don't.
So
Anyway.
in that respect, then there was a game. I think it was WrestleMania 2000. Those like N64 like PlayStation era games where you would just play with like 4 people and hit each other or whatever. There, we made 2 characters. One we just called Waiter because he looked like a waiter, but like again, you could put the stats into whatever. And we just put the stats into basically he was impossible to knock down ever. So he would just go around punching people and like knocking them out.
Okay.
And the other guy we made was Cockknocker, and he the only thing he did was like the low blow over and over. So we played 4-player that, and it was just like punching each other in the nuts for an hour. So that was so dumb too. So in that respect, yeah.
Another pull from the chat, which I highly agree with, was Face Raiders. Which,
sure.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, I never played it, but yeah.
Yeah, for the 3DS, that game's so dumb.
Yeah.
And that's just a game where you can take a picture of your face. It wasn't exactly customized. Okay.
Sure.
Next question. Not a Skeleton writes, does anyone or do any one of you follow any competitive video game scenes or even compete in them?
Yes.
So yeah, you follow Dota, right?
And Hearthstone, StarCraft. Just trying to think of what else.
I follow none.
That's probably it, honestly, for me.
I'm sure John follows just a bunch.
Sure, probably.
And John competes in them, as we were seeing.
Yeah, he got 2nd place, so congrats.
On that tournament we talked about last week, he got 2nd place, and the mystery game was. It was not Mighty Number 9, which is what he thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
What was that mystery game again? I don't even remember.
I'm sure someone from the chat knows. So
someone from the chat will probably mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jacobs writes, what are some things you push for much more than others, achievements, bonuses, etc.? So I guess in games, what is like one of your like, what do you try and unlock? What do you love looking for or whatever?
For games where you collect stuff, I want to collect all the stuff in the level. For games like Trials, I want to get the gold on every level. But that's not for achievements or anything. That's just because I feel like I'm not playing the game properly if I don't.
I definitely don't try. I don't go out of my way to collect concept art because that's bullshit.
Sure, I agree with you. Yeah. But like bandages and Super Meat Boy, I loved that. That unlocked like gameplay stuff though, so I don't know if that even counts because that's just like opening the game up more. Like extra stuff.
There's not many games that I went for like finding everything. Like Burnout Paradise,
sure.
I unlocked everything in that, and just because that game was good. Oh my god, yeah, Crackdown, agility orbs.
All the orbs, like yeah.
Agility orbs.
I had to go for all of them.
Gotta get every one of those orbs. Oh.
It was Lethal League, by the way. That was
the mystery game?
The mystery game.
Right.
What did he say again? Mighty Number 9, you were saying?
He thought it was Mighty Number 9 because the developer of it was apparently at the convention, so he thought he's bringing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it didn't happen that way.
It did not happen that way. And what was another one? Oh, Shadow Complex. I got everything in that game because I just enjoyed exploring that area and whatnot. Usually, Metroidvania-style games, I quite try to get everything because eventually you just get so powerful that you can kind of just mow your way through everything while you're going to all the new areas and whatnot. I remember doing that with Dust and Elysian Tale as well.
Final Fantasy VII. It was the reason why I can't play that game anymore, because I've played through it twice, all the way through, doing all the emerald weapons and the chocobo rate. I can't do it anymore.
Wow.
Never again. So.
I've never played that game all the way through.
Okay. You're not missing much except for like 60 hours worth of pain every time.
Marshmallow writes in, do you have some hobbies that you have besides the typical stuff like involving TV, internet, or games? He builds models and reads manga. No,
I don't.
I like to go biking a lot. I work
you and
out
your
a
fanny
lot.
pack? You need to still get that fanny pack.
I'm not getting a fanny pack. I don't have any use for a fanny pack, and I don't even want a fanny pack.
You had use at one time.
That was but that was like the weirdest scenario, and I didn't end up needing it.
It might happen again. Just saying.
It's not gonna happen again. Anyways, I like being active quite a bit. I do that a lot. Other hobbies that aren't media related. No, that's about it. I just like being active quite a bit. Just being social with my friends. He also writes, "What is your favorite type of weapon that does not shoot or have a sharp edge?" He likes the hammer. Chains are pretty cool too.
Yeah, no, I'm with him with hammers. That's why
I always think hammers are lame.
That's why I like the paladin classes and high fantasy stuff and all that. Just the big hammers or like shields or something. I like them better than swords. Just like bashing something until it just I don't know pieces of it everywhere.
I always think big hammers are lame and shields are lame too, especially if they
They're
make it
so
slow.
good.
I've
always thought Thor's hammer is lame though, just because of the small.
It's
like,
tiny.
Yeah, how small it is.
Yours has to be like comically large.
Sure. I mean, I am a Warcraft fan, so yeah.
I always thought like bow staffs were real cool. That's probably why I played as like Keelik from Soul Calibur.
And why you are Donatello. You're always eating pizza and doing ninja stuff.
I always played as Donatello. I'm just telling you.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, do we have that one right?
What?
Wait, is Donatello the purple one?
Yeah.
Who's the blue one?
Leonardo. Two swords.
That's right, Leonardo, that's right. Yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I always played as Donatello as well. I like the bow staff a lot, so.
Cool. Okay.
And last question, Logan writes, what do you think of Crytek's current state? Have you been hearing about this?
Is he talking about the Homefront people just, not working on it anymore?
Yeah, and just, apparently going a few weeks without getting paid. The main developer, the development lead on Homefront, just left.
Mm-hmm.
It seems pretty obvious. It seems like a company slowly just going downhill.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't care too much about it, but, Crytek has never been like, oh, man, I'm excited to see what they're doing next. They've always just kind of been like, I'll see what they do next. I probably won't even play it, but they always make some nice-looking stuff, I guess. That was my thing. Homefront, the first Homefront, did they work on that? I can't even remember now. Or did they buy it from another company?
Ooh, I don't recall. I want to say they bought it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right, because the first Homefront was terrible, and I think I remember hearing that Crytek might actually make it like a palatable shooter of some sort because the other company messed up with it, but whatever.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't know a ton about this terrible game.
About Homefront? Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I figured as much. For anyone who wants to send in questions next week, you can send them to our email at topdownperspective@gdp. Nope, that's not what it is. It's topdownperspective@gmail.com.
Right, yeah, cool.
The Twitter account is at TDP Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the Facebook group. Just search Top Down Perspective on Facebook. Paul, what's your game of the week?
Oh, Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight?
Yeah.
And mine would have to be Shovel Knight again. Yeah.
Sure, it's the best one.
Yeah. I probably ended up actually spending more hours with Murdered just because it took longer, but Shovel Knight was my favorite one of last week.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll do it for this week. I don't know where John is next week. Do you know if he's done or if he has another?
He has another one.
He has. Oh wow. Okay. But I think he's done after that.
Yeah. Okay. Forever. For a few months anyway, probably.
No, not for a few months because PAX is next month.
Okay, for a few weeks, couple weeks. Okay.
No, that's not true. Oh no, sorry, I was going to say San Diego Comic-Con, but that is next week, and that's the one he's going to. So next week he's going to San Diego Comic-Con, which will probably kill him.
Yeah.
But if he's back and free, we'll try and get him on the show. Anyways,
absolutely.
But we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you later.
Bye.